for Ebola or beriberi or dengue fever. I don't plan on going to those places.
Thank goodness.
I just want to go live in the Gobi Desert and be left alone. Me and the death warden.
Go be by yourself.
Yeah. All right. We be starting our Wednesday Dungeons and Dragons game. This is episode 43 of the World of Skell-Ghosts. If you don't believe in ghosts, then you might when we're done with this story. Or you still might not. I don't believe all
Hey,
that.
I believe in ghosts.
Do
I
you?
saw my mother's ghost. So I believe in ghosts.
Was it a brief viewing or was it an extended viewing?
It was, I'd say extended in the fact that it lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say that's extended. Was there any?
And I heard her voice.
Was there any communication?
Yeah, I heard her voice. It was for me it was a crazy moment because I was crazy. I thought this is impossible. I've lost my mind. And it was also a very low point in my life. In fact, this is probably about a year after she died, and I was really bummed out, totally gutted out, just totally ruined, and laying in bed. And this is just a true story. As I say it, I was laying in bed. It was really cold. All my animals were with me. And I kind of woke up and I saw smoke in the hallway of my trailer. And I was like, where's the smoke coming from? I don't smell anything. My animals aren't upset. And this cloud of smoke came down the hallway. And I reached out my hand like, what is this? And I heard my mother's voice say, you're just fine. You're going to be just fine. It's going to be all right. And it's like you'd say I was dreaming. I was wide awake. And that's what I thought. I'm dreaming. This dreaming. My animals, nothing. And then it just ended. And it was crazy. It was a really insane moment. And so maybe I did lose my mind then, but it turned me around at a point when I was really low. So yes, I do believe in stuff like that.
It's what you needed then.
Yeah, I don't think it was something I pulled out of my ass either. Somebody said, oh, you concocted this out of your own need. I was like, no. I was quite content to lay there and be miserable.
Are you sure you weren't releasing a very large hit that had numbed your...
No, that's another thing. I was totally sober. That's the other thing that got me. I was totally sober. Because that was at a time when I would get fucked up on pills and shit. That was like I said, the low point in my life. And that changed it. Because I could have easily killed myself back then. Not on purpose is what I say, but I could have just done myself in out of sheer neglect. Because I came close a couple times where I was like, oops, almost did it. So I don't do that anymore. I just get high and drunk now.
And maybe do some PCP.
No, I haven't done that before though.
Maybe a little cocaine.
I don't like cocaine. It makes me aggressive and nasty.
And, maybe just a touch of heroin.
I've never done heroin.
And
well, unless you count pills. That's the closest thing to heroin I've done.
I have blown transvestites on the corner for angel dust.
That's another thing. I was never so desperate that I stole or did anything crazy to get drugs. I just was too lazy to do that. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I would just either lay around or read books or stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm happy to say that I got past it. So, yeah. I could have easily been dead already. I could have been dead 10 years ago by simply just overdoing it. So that I never tried to kill myself, but I certainly made a couple good efforts.
Brian Brown
unwittingly.
Brian Brown says, "Hey, blueberries." Whatever. I think that's in the new Captain Crunch. You get the blueberries in there.
He's a Jim Jim.
To Brian Brown, I said hello.
You can tell him yourself.
Brian Brown, I say hello.
The one guy that's watching.
Yeah, not anymore. Oh. But that's okay. All right. Well, I only get a hold of Brad through Messenger here, and we even talked yesterday and fucking getting his character all squared away. And he's like, 5 o'clock, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I texted him last night and talking about the game. He kept asking me about the wall.
He's here and we just can't see him. He's a ghost.
I don't think I would like to slash you across the throat with a tire iron.
That's one good thing about being remote.
That is, you're safe. Okay, well, how about we do a recap so we can all kind of get back on the same page. So, you guys led a group of villagers who were all impressed and given hope that you might have a chance at ending the menace of Super Tusk once and for all. And you went out and you weren't taken by surprise by Super Tusk. And the attack was on and there was just too many people there for Super Tusk to handle it, and he ran off. And you guys continued to follow him. You had found one of the villagers who was a tracker, and he managed to lead you to what seemed to be a dead end. These tracks just went into this oddball, freestanding wall, if you will, in the middle of the forest. And as you all were examining it, Boris was got a little too close, and it kind of like pulled him into it. And when he went through the wall and ended up on the other side as a giant, and the people were either amazed or frightened. And on the opposite side of the wall, you had seen these tracks of what would appear to have been miniature pigs, hundreds of them. Like either one pig was constantly going back and forth from the wall, or there was hundreds of little mini pigs. And when this time Super Tusk did surprise, and as he came out of the wall and attacked Boris the giant, and a big fight was on, and Super Tusk was damaging Boris, and I don't know if he hit Guy or not, but
yeah, a couple times, yes.
Eventually, Super Tusk fell in battle, but when he did, his body didn't just quit moving. It turned into hundreds, if not 1,000, miniature pigs, like the size of a cat or smaller. And they all just fleed in random directions away. And the crowd was grateful. Yay! Super Tusk is defeated.
Yay!
I don't know if Boris really enjoyed being a giant or not, but
he did.
He was eventually either coerced or talked to, or he made his own decision to go back through the wall, and he became his regular size again. And then everyone was happy, and you guys left the area and went back to the village, and there was a great rejoicing with villagers being very happy and music made, and Boris was viewed as somewhat desirable by several females of the village. And as Boris decided he would take one of the ladies' offers and head off by himself, leaving Guy to look for one of the previous death race entrants, Athena, the lady. Unnamed entity came to the village and entered into the party atmosphere. Guy has his hand up.
Yeah, I did talk with the elder about the wall. Don't forget that.
Okay.
That was the thing. That's when Bart first saw me. He was talking to the elder, and I don't think I ever met Athena because I got sidetracked by Bart.
And so Bart and Guy kind of had a feeling out type of communication there, and then Boris came back to the area where there was activity going on, and he saw that Guy was talking to this mysterious stranger, and then they all three had a conversation, and it was made known that Bartholanthus Amalareth of the third house of the Emerald Kingdom was there, and neither of these two individuals had heard of him, and they proceeded to ask questions and try to figure out why he was there. Bart, as usual, was very non-specific in many of his answers, but he seemed to be interested in helping Guy and Boris in whatever things they are up to.
Flint made an appearance.
The Flint, the person that rescued or gave the Guy and Boris the potions of, there's a term for it, I don't remember what it is, but
The Black Fleet.
they seemed like they were dead, so they were disposed of and rescued out of the ocean by Flint. Brought to this village, he was there, and then they all got in a conversation, and Flint said that he was working on getting them away to the mainland so they could go after Covidious, when Bart mentioned that he could just get them there, and then he remembered that he needed to see or be familiar with the place that he was going, so that might not work. And then everyone sort of went to bed. Bart went out of the village and cast a spell, and a wondrous mansion appeared, and the other two gentlemen went to the people that had offered them free a place to stay in the village. And that is where we stop. So unless someone has any additions or edits to the recap, we will officially start. Guy has his hand up.
What was the elder's reaction when I told him that the wall was a bad place? He never really did any kind of discussion with that.
Let's find out. He says,
The wall is an enchanted blade. It needs to be avoided.
I agree. It is not well known by anyone alive because the last generation has been so terrorized by Super Tusk that none dared go that deep into the island for any reason.
Well, those who accompanied us yesterday now know.
Yes, well, that's... I don't know what to make of that information, honestly. I don't know what... I mean, I certainly would ask them not to return, but as much as I know young people, they're going to be curious. And if the story of Boris turning into a giant is true, then I don't know what could happen if many were to go through or one went through and never returned. I don't have any idea. I would hate to think that there would be a long lost group of people that became giant and used those powers for evil.
I can see that happening.
I've never heard of a good giant.
Do you feel like the wall is a boon from your gods to your island, or would you prefer that we try to destroy it?
I would prefer that we leave it something like that. I would rather we decide as a village who lives here. If I was to make a decision for everyone, it will make it seem like I am the dictator, and that is part of the reason lots of these people are here now, is to avoid that type of situation.
It seemed like a natural thing that should be preserved, but
I think it could be destroyed.
monster
All you have
Tusk
is trouble from
will
it.
probably be back.
Well,
I can barely hear you.
It's because you're talking.
I will call for a village meeting tomorrow evening. I will start spreading the word that there will be a meeting tomorrow to address this specific question. In the meantime, I would like to think that no one would go out there on their own, but I can't be certain of that. And though
We didn't show it to anyone else, just the people that went with us.
and if they're anything like I know them to be, everyone will soon know about it. Everyone knows everyone's business in this tight-knit community. And that can be helpful and it can be hurtful. But
That elf might have some wisdom.
well, then I would ask, if you think so, ask him if there's something he would like to say at the meeting that might persuade us one way or the other. As you all would have that chance as well. I can only hope that people will decide not to tamper with forces they don't understand, but sometimes the allure of the unknown is too strong, especially for those people that aren't necessarily happy. For anyone
Are
without
there
reason.
on this island that are considered strange or avoided?
Well, we the death race does take you to a few places that are unusual. I would say the area of the cave birds would be a place that you wouldn't want to stay for very long. And I would also...
Cave bird?
There's one of the spots in the death race is a suspension bridge that goes across a chasm, and we know that there are creatures that live there that aren't necessarily always friendly to those that go through there. Hence, it's an area to avoid if possible. But it's called Death Race for a reason.
One tried to get me.
And then another spot that we are most assuredly not to go to unless it's a dire circumstance is the Temple of Hera. We are not most of us come from the mainlands, and though the blend is an accepted form of religion on the mainland, the ancient gods that were once worshipped in these islands, either by direct miracles or the reading of oracles or whatever, they know that those old gods aren't happy to be replaced and their worshippers gone. So Hera will ask you for what you might desire, and she will twist those words into something that you don't. And that is because you are not a true believer of Hera. Boris, I don't know what you meant by that, but if you were on the death race, I'm guessing perhaps you fell to her wiles. And
yeah, she hit me.
This is, I don't mean to pry, but are you a religious man?
I believe in the spirit of the wild.
Yes, Hera is a jealous goddess, and if you don't worship her directly and only her, she will make sure that you pay a price if you interact with her.
Yep.
And that once again goes to the death race theme. So I didn't come up with the death race, but it is a tradition, and
it was fun. I was winning.
You never told me you got attacked by a giant bird?
It was like a flying monkey. And it swooped down, but I was too fast.
Doximo is not laughing. I am laughing.
The guard, they have a tower. He shot him with an arrow. It plummeted into the chasm.
Wow. One of our guards actually took out one of the Ares flock, huh?
You should have seen it. It was a great shot.
Well,
Tell me this.
So funny.
Do these creatures all live in one place, or are they all over the island?
they usually, I think the chasm is their home.
How big is this chasm?
They
Doximo,
call it a chasm for a reason.
Doximo looks at Boris and he says, what, like 50 feet across or more maybe?
I don't know. It's chasmic.
I mean, how big is this island? how big is this chasm? I mean, is it a mile long? Is it... How much area does this chasm encompass?
It was big.
I don't think it's a mile long. Maybe half a mile. But it's more
Are
like
these creatures...
to get across the chasm is the part where the founders in their infinite wisdom put up the suspension bridge so that way the flying creatures would have a chance to pick off anyone not deemed worthy enough to finish the death race.
So this is like basically just a crack in the earth, basically.
I suppose so. But
Are
I
these
don't...
creatures a menace?
Go ahead,
Do you
Jason.
consider them a menace?
Well, I mean, nobody goes there unless they're taking part in a race. So, is that really their fault or ours?
Just curious, if they were a menace, I was going to offer to go and at least assess how much of a menace they were.
I mean, you're allowed to go pretty much wherever you want. I'm not going to go there, and if you go there by yourself, I think that would be foolish.
Oh no, I wasn't going to go by myself, but I look at Boris and smile. He knows how to get there.
It was a little scary.
Oh, seeing you gigantic was a little scary.
That was fun. I wanted to run the race like that.
In fact, if you got gigantic again, maybe you could climb down in that crevice. That's not a bad idea. And if it's not too deep, you could haul my ass down there in your hand. So,
I don't know.
but I want to keep away from that wall. I think we need to avoid that wall. I think it's a bad idea.
Didn't Flint say he could have something ready tomorrow?
Yeah, we need to go to the mainland.
I'm gonna get me some materials and make a new bow. I don't have that anymore. And I walk over to the wood line and God, I'm gonna collect some material to craft a crude bow. I have the crude Bowyer Fletcher proficiency, and I'm going to start on it, but it will not be done for 12 days, I think it is. So I'm just going to start working on it.
All right, let's do a simple, can you find a piece of wood on this island that would accommodate a bow's specific needs? So, roll.
And plant fiber for the string and all that stuff. Or am I doing percentile or D20?
You're going to roll the crude weaponsmithing check, please. And we're going to go normal chances.
Alright, I gotta see what that pulls from.
He is just going to exercise and train himself in his weapons as normal.
Does that go off my wisdom?
Well, it won't matter. And you should have a number next to your proficiency.
Yeah, but it didn't have the information for this proficiency in the standard book, and then I printed it out of the fighter table, but it doesn't say what it checks on. But because I have the hunting proficiency, I get a +3 bonus to all proficiency checks.
Oh, I see. You,
Page 74 of the Barbarian Handbook, I believe it is.
you never sent me that character in an XPX, I don't think, so.
I did, but I did not have this particular proficiency or the hunting one to send you. And even though I printed it out, it doesn't tell me what it depends on, my wisdom or my intelligence or my strength. I don't know. So I don't have a number.
I'd like to see a map of this island.
I would guess it's either intelligence or wisdom. So 9 would be the better of the two.
Hold on here.
Do you have the Barbarian Handbook?
I do.
Okay, but again, I printed it out to say it there.
Alright, let's go old school. Let's see if I can find it in the actual book here.
Maybe it says it on a different page or something, but it's not on the page where it describes the... The Brush Runner kit is on page 37. Hooray!
Yay! You get a +1.
That sounds fair. We can just call it 9 if you get tired of looking at it, but it would be nice to
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you, Daryl.
I'm not using my headphones. Can you hear me now?
That's probably why. I can hear. If it's just, yeah, you sound muffled.
Probably when I look down or look away, I'm not like talking straight at the mic.
I mean, I don't know how you hear me, so.
You sound real clear.
Okay.
And I'm not hearing a bunch of echo from anything. So that's good.
Because, I mean, I just have it sitting right here on the little thing next to me, so. And it's just my phone. No, not a computer or anything. That's why I tell people, you don't need sophisticated equipment to do this. All you really need is a phone.
I like having the tablet because then I can use my phone for the texting or the messaging.
Well, I have a tablet too, and I can do that, yeah. And I mean, all you have to do is like take a, turn the phone around. This is the board, and this is what it looks like, and
yeah,
it's not hard to do.
No,
it just adds a little bit of time to it. The only drawback that I see to it is the communication factor, because if you're all sitting around together, everybody can talk at the same time. And you can understand other people, or more than one people, and blah, 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 blah. But this way you have to wait, and I hate that because I do talk a lot, and I'm not trying to talk over people. I don't want you to think that.
Right. Sometimes I'd like to address a point you're making, but you got to wait and then try to remember, okay, I wanted to comment on that. So it's got there's a few challenges, but it doesn't get much easier.
I've learned, because I deal with people that will talk solid for 5 minutes and won't let you get a word in edgewise. And it's like, there's 3 things I'd like to go back and say, but they won't give you a chance. I'm like, okay, pause.
Yeah, my turn.
Pause. let somebody raise their hand. So yeah, but that's and I mean we still communicate pretty good.
I think so.
Because I'm a very talkative person when it comes to gaming. So
Daryl, where are you seeing? I should know this. Where are you seeing crude weaponsmithing? What?
It is on page 74, chapter 4
of the Barbarian
Handbook, or is it the Fighters? I thought it was the Barbarian section.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Well, which book is it?
So you got on page 74. It says Boyer Fletcher Crude. Is that what you got?
Yes.
Okay. And what were we needing to know?
What I need, what it checks against, what.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Is my monitor.
Okay. Let me see here. Then let me go back. Let me go
I'm
back. All right. I'm getting there. Boyer Fletcher. Okay. Apparently it goes against your dexterity.
Fantastic. Wow. That's a 17.
So you're going to roll a d20 and add it to your dex, and what's the total?
19.
Oh
I rolled a 2.
no! Okay, well, sometimes the dice say fuck you, Daryl. That's just the way
Yeah.
it is. So,
You make one of those little kitty bows with the suction cup arrows.
So-
with just a piece of string for the
Flexibility, and it's all too brittle or too stiff, or it's like, god damn, where's the fumble at?
okay, so what that
Yeah.
means is you spend some time, and as you're looking around on this island, none of the native plants or wood seems to be the type of wood like you know right away with a 2, even though you failed your check, you learn that you haven't found anything in this particular area of the island that will work for a bow.
There's no hardwood.
So what that means is that you can certainly try again, but you have to change your place of doing it, and hope that on the if you were to choose this option, if you were to look in a different part of the island with a different whatever you call it, not climate, but the fucking
Yeah, just different growth.
horticulture, or whatever the fucking term is.
Different plant. Yes, I get it.
Okay.
So, after I meander, did you say there was a local market or a tradesman area? I'm going to see if there's somebody that makes arrowheads. You can
Okay.
come back to me with that if he's got something going on, or because I walked off and
He
did
is
my
exercising. He is going through his training maneuvers with his bastard sword. He doesn't have a horse, or he'd be riding his horse right now. He'd be training with a horse, but so he just gets physical.
All
Chops
right.
down several palm trees with his sword.
So Boris starts looking over the village for someone that might already be making or may have made arrows. Is that correct?
whether they be stone or steel. I'm looking for craftsmen.
Okay. So, I would like you to roll a charisma check with a +4 added to your dice roll.
Woohoo!
30.
Okay. So, you ask around. You are through the investigation process. You are constantly being told how great you are, and yet no one seems to be making arrows.
I shake and I pat folks on the back. You should have seen that guy too, and Athena, and they really did good work.
The locals, they you can tell that the crude blacksmith and the crude forge, they're making the spears and the spearheads, but there's no molds set up for a smaller thing.
Okay.
He says, I can try to make a mold out of some leftover wood, maybe, and try to make it smaller.
If you have the time, I don't have a lot to trade. Maybe I could bring you hunt you an animal, or bring you some skins.
I would not dare ask the Slayer of Super Tusk to pay for anything from my shop within reason. So the only thing I can't do is learn the proper size right away. I might need some time to get that to work. I mean, you'd almost be better off, I guess, if like you were to go down by the ocean and find rocks that we could hit and make points out of, versus having me do that. I don't know if you're familiar at all with how...
I've seen it done, but I'm no good at it. But I can find the right size, so you know what I'm needing.
Now, the DM may be speaking out of turn, but I'm going to go with what I'm thinking here. And according to your proficiency, you can make crude arrows as well as bows, and part of that is, you know, making an arrowhead. And I assume being crude, that means you would do it like, you know, the classic, you know, arrowheads we find around House Springs and Indian reservations and old Indian kingdoms.
Consider
go ahead, Jason.
The Indian, how many more something.
So, I would think that you would know how to look for the right rocks to chisel on other rocks. That's just...
Okay, but it does say, it specifies that arrowheads must be made by weaponsmiths. But the Bowyer Fletcher fashions the bows, shafts, and draws. So that's why I was looking for that. But if you say that I can, then I will certainly make that an effort.
I see. Okay. I see where it says it there.
Trying to go by the book.
Okay, yeah. All right. So,
but I will collect some stones. I say, thank you, man. I will collect some stones, and then I'll bring them back for you to see if you can work with them.
all right. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It says arrowheads must be made by weaponsmiths, which I understand that. But are they talking about arrowheads with metal?
That's what I'm saying, because your average Native American hunter could make his own arrowheads from flint. It was a skill. They weren't weaponsmith. It was just...
Cobb, if you say that is included, then I am all for it. I will make a roll and try to make some of those.
All right, so you spend some time looking for the right stones and testing out things. And now I would like you to roll another proficiency check. But I don't think... well, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead and roll the same thing against your dex.
+4?
No. Normal chances.
Okay. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Alright, 23.
Okay, so that is successful, but it didn't really go way up there. So Um,
Come on, Boris.
you, during this particular time of looking, which is today, no matter, whatever,
Excuse me.
you gather, and you find that the beach does seem to have some stones that are pretty, the hardness is very high on them. None of them are dragon glass or flint, unfortunately, but
Not what I'm used to.
You can make nice stuff with coral. Coral's pretty sharp.
I would agree with that. So,
I find 2.
I was gonna say, let's see, roll, well, you made it by 3. Yeah, you made it by 21, 23. So you managed on this day to make 3 arrowheads.
Oh, to make them, not just find them?
Yeah.
Good deal.
And then to attach them to the bow, you will need some type of, string or...
Yeah, I still got to make the arrows.
So
I don't have
here's...
arrows or bow. So I'm working.
So I have seen videos of a guy that is making a bow and arrow with no tools. And so to make like the string for that you can use to wrap around or whatever, you would catch an animal and you would
Use the sinew.
but then to get it the right way to stretch it and everything, you would chew on it and twist it and stretch it out like taffy and do that until finally you had elongated things. So depending on how much time you want to spend on this, you can spend as much time as you want.
Well, I haven't found any material to make the bow yet. I failed on that. That's why I went to making arrowheads. So that's how I'm spending my day. I find the stones and I chip.
All right. And Guy, anything else from you? Boris has been out of the village for quite a while. It's like the sun is high in the sky and he's still nowhere to be found. Do you care? Or do you do something else that I should be aware of?
While I'm practicing and exercising, I'll tell Paco to get everything ready to travel, whatever we have there is to pack. And when you say around high noon, I will... Where's the last time I saw Boris today, if I did?
You saw him when you guys were talking with... We're just going to say it was the morning that you once again saw the village elder out and was like, hey, and you guys were talking.
Okay. There's not people, there's just one main village, right? There's not an assortment of villages.
Not that you're aware of.
Alright, I'm going to go to the center of the village and take a look around and see if I can see him.
Okay, make me a perception check.
That's a D30?
D30 plus your intelligence, you get a 31 or higher.
Ooh. Plus intelligent. Oh, I'm kind of dumb. Oh well. No. That's only a 14.
Oh no.
I don't see nothing. I'm busy snarling at the peasant. No, I don't snarl at anybody. I just... Do I see the elder? Do I see anybody I recognize or I have spoken to?
Oh yeah, there's every so often you see people that went with you on the raid, and the village elder can be seen going about his business, gathering water and working his garden.
I will.
All that
I
kind
will,
of
without any kind of anxiety, just simply ask if anybody has seen Boris.
Let's see. I'm assuming Boris didn't try to be unseen as he left the village, so
He even told the one guy what he was going to do.
they, the village elder says, I think that I saw him looking around at the tree line over there, and then later on, our blacksmith said that he was asking about arrows and things, and so you might want to ask the blacksmith.
Arrows, eh? He's been talking about that. I'll go find the blacksmith.
All right, and the blacksmith reveals that he suggested possibly going to the ocean, the beach, to maybe find some good rocks to use for arrowheads.
He will look around and see if there's anybody gathered around, like more than one person, or simply say, "Hey, you see Boris? Tell him I'll be at the hut, preparing for the journey."
All right.
I figure Boris is all right. Nobody seems upset about his movements or anything.
Well, in a few hours, as you're in the hut, sort of making sure everything is in its proper place, Boris finally returns, and he's...
Look, I made arrowheads.
How many did you make?
3. I didn't find any good wood for a bow.
You made 3 arrowheads? That's pathetic.
right.
I'd have you flogged for that. That's pathetic.
Screw you. It's me you making arrowheads.
And get 3 arrowheads?
Where's your
What the hell?
arrowhead?
I don't use those kind of weapons, sir.
I turn around and walk
I
out.
face my opponent. I face my opponent.
Boris...
I wonder if that mystical, magical mansion is somewhere in sight, and if it's still there, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
Make me a perception check, please.
11.
Uh, 11 total? 11 total?
Yeah.
Holy
Correct.
shit, okay. Yeah, so you go outside and start looking around, and you're just like, you don't see any magnificent mansion up on the hill. Kind of weird.
I guess he left.
We're both clueless today.
I'm just seeing if Brad's anywhere around.
I messaged him and got no reply, so.
He was in the car.
Okay. He did take a while before, so I mean we're still within parameters for this. So. And hey, he wasn't being mean to you, Boris. I hope you figured out he was being kind of facetious.
It was
If I had peasants making the arrowheads and you came to me with 3 arrowheads after a day's work, I'd have you beat. The hell?
The only thing I will
Wild
say,
man.
let the dungeon master massage the scene by saying that I would like Guy to make a perception check.
He doesn't know how to make an arrowhead. What do you?
My sense motive is not very good.
And he is can be kind of snarky, so that's true.
Yeah. Forrest will
Oh, I got a 27 total. That's a D30 plus my intelligence. I got a 27.
Total?
Yeah.
Oh.
My intelligence is 10.
Okay, well,
I'm not brilliant.
The Dungeon Master will say that Guy, Guy turns off the sound. Oh. That Guy, he saw Boris leave, and he he doesn't understand why Boris left the way he did.
Well, obviously I offended him.
Well, not obviously, because you rolled a 27.
Well, no, I think that if he left after what I said, that he didn't. I came across wrong. Well, maybe I figured, oh well, he just can't take a joke.
Okay. Wow, that was an hour.
I realize how tough he is. He should get that. Oh well, yeah, he knows how tough Boris is.
He's not going to cry about it.
Another thing, like he knows how to maintain his weapons and armor, but he couldn't make them. He knows that.
Daryl, was that a picture of a squirrel as your
It's a deer.
avatar? Okay. I admit, it's a tiny picture. All I saw was forest and something gray. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess I will, if there's anything else you'd like to do today, you guys would let me know. Otherwise, we'll skip hour by hour. So, 3 o'clock.
Until we're ready to get on the boat, I'm either resting or exercising. Unless something changes that.
Okay. Flint.
He is ready for the boat.
Flint comes to you all and says, "We'll be leaving very shortly, unless your new friend is going to take you."
Well, I don't know where he is.
No, we decided on the boat, Mr. Flint.
All right, very good. As soon as the sun goes down over the horizon, be ready to go.
Paco, start loading. Tell my man where the boat is so he can get my stuff on board.
Well, no, we're all going to walk there together. I'm going to come by here, and we're all going to get together, and we're all going to go, because that's just the way it's got to be.
All right, good enough.
We'll be ready.
All right. So I need.
Boris packs up his meager supplies.
I would
and
like.
is ready.
I would like Boris to roll a d12, please.
10.
All right. The sun sets over the horizon. It's still light, but the sun is down. Flint arrives exactly when he said he would. You all are prepared. Oh, Guy has a question.
I'm going to note which direction the sun went down so I know which way west is.
Okay. Well, without that way. Okay. So, you start to go off into the woods. And it seems like you're going back on the trail of the death race. And you keep walking along the trail. until you get to the second check-in. And he takes you down like into a gully or like a little drop off and starts to walk along kind of a very low running creek bed where you can walk amongst the stones and the water depending on where you walk until it's starting to get dark and you can see off in the distance like a shallow bottom boat with oars, and you can also see somebody else there with a lamp. And as you all approach, he hangs the lamp up onto a hook that is suspended above the boat, and it illuminates the area, and Flint tells you to stow your belongings and then help him push the boat out into the water.
Let's go.
So you do...
I get in the boat.
Okay, so when you hop in the boat, Flint's like, no, you have to wait till the boat can float before you can get in.
I'll get out of the boat.
Okay.
And look at him real hard, but just say nothing.
He gives you one of those dirt looks, and which you recognize because you may or may not have given that look to some of the lessers of your past. And then once the boat is out, he's like, okay, now, sorry you get your feet wet. And he hops in and he stands there, and if you let him, he will help you into the boat as well.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure he helps me into the boat.
And then he says, all right, gentlemen, this is Hickson. Hickson, you don't need to know who these guys are, but take us to the landing. And Hickson walks to the back of the boat, and then he looks at you two and he says, gentlemen, if you would be so kind as to grab an oar and row.
I take the position.
So Paco goes and grabs an oar, and you start to row. And you row, and as you go out, seemingly into the darkness of the vastness of the ocean, you're not sure exactly which way you're going, or you think that you're going north, but as the last light of the day leaves, it gets harder and harder to tell, and then after what feels like a while, you're just calmly and silently gliding through the waters of the ocean. Oh,
now what kind of moon?
Occasionally the sound is broken by the slapping of oars and the grunts of Paco. And Hickson is in the back with a rudder, keeping everything on course. So, as far as the moon goes, it is a waning gibbous, which means it's not giving off that much light. And I need Boris and Paco to each make strength checks, please.
Uh-oh. I'm not sure. I figured did we say Paco was basically average?
He's
throughout that?
10s all across.
Yeah.
28.
So it's 10 with the D20?
Correct.
Alright. Come on, Paco. Paco rolls a 27.
Nice. Okay.
Get
So-
them a third.
You, everything seems to be going along just fine. Now for the bad part. Guy, I need you to roll a D20.
Uh-oh.
Don't get a 1.
I'll try not to. How about a 5?
Okay. You have been rowing now for what feels like probably an hour. And according to your checks, both Boris and Paco seem to be in a good rhythm and
I can still hear you.
not laboring much at all. But now we come to hour 2. And I need Paco and Boris to make a strength check at -4. So you would remove 4 from your dice roll before adding it to your strength.
Strength check -4.
Correct. What did... Hold on. What did Boris get?
19.
Oh, okay. And what did Paco get?
13.
Okay. So, the second hour, things get a little bit more labored. The arms are starting to maybe get a little burnt out, or Paco's like, I got cramp, my cankle, oh.
I
So
haven't done this in a while.
Flint says, that's okay, we can take a rest here. That's fine. Just be calm, and if you want to drink some water or whatever, take a piss, that's fine. Just don't fall over.
Yeah, even suggest that at some point, if these people start looking, sweating and be like, hey, can we rest a minute?
Or we can trade out. Let Guy and Flint take the oars.
Boris, make a charisma check. Let's see what Flint thinks of that idea.
Oh. 32.
Woo!
32? Wow, okay. So Flint's like, yeah, I'll step up if he steps up.
I'll put my hand on Paco's shoulder and say, you've done well. Step on. Take a rest.
I give Paco a pat on the back, and we sit. I'm gonna sit in the other seat, stretch out a minute. Oh, my arms and my shoulders are hurting a little.
Okay.
He kind of feels bad that he made Paco do that.
You all feel like a cool sort of breeze start to blow past you. Not in a violent fashion, but just a gentle breeze.
Noticeable.
Do either of you have any kind of sea-based knowledge? No? Okay.
Is C stand for cram? Because I got some cram-based jam.
Unfortunately not. Okay. Okay,
I don't know what Paco's past is, but I doubt he was a sailor.
Flint and Guy, you start to row. And this first hour, make a simple strength check, please, on a D20.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bust my ass.
No.
I'm not trying to...
Oh, look at that. Flint got a 25.
That's what I got.
All right, so you and Flint seem to be
Double monkey.
You seem to be in rhythm, and you seem to be, working up a good sweat, and the cool breeze feels good on your skin as the night air transfers from ocean to land. And
He brags occasionally about having to row a boat, but
Flint's
that's
like,
he.
we're actually doing pretty good. I think Hickson, what do you think? Maybe another hour? And Hickson's like, yeah, I'd say so. You guys are doing good. Just let's hope nothing weird happens. And Flint's like, well,
Another hour?
What could happen?
Steady.
He says another hour. I look over at Flint and say, "Put your back into it, old man."
He looks at you and he's like, I'm younger than you, douche king.
He's younger than.
Little shade longer in there.
Okay, so first of all, Guy and Flint, make a strength check at -4. Flint rolls, a 20, a dirty 20.
26.
All right, so
I'm going good and still, yeah, so.
Guy is chugging along. Flint is.
Come on! Come on!
And I would like Boris to roll a D30, please. Don't roll a 1!
14.
14. Okay, so more time has passed. And as Flint making noises but not like struggling, you start.
Guy will look at him and be like, "You alright?"
I'm fine.
I'll look back over my shoulder at Boris and shrug.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Hickson says,
Good rhythm.
we gotta be getting close. Keep your eyes out.
I'll turn and watch it.
There's really nothing, there's no dangers in the water, but we certainly don't want to run right into something if we can help it.
Is there a landmark or a land that we might see?
Hopefully they'll see ours first, and as if on cue, off to your right, a lamp flickers and then lights, and you can see some shadowy figure standing there, and a shadowy because it's dark. And
I mean, how close are we to the beach? We don't hear the waves breaking or anything like that?
You're in the ocean already. There's an ambient noise. The tide isn't, as far as you can tell, it's not a time for the tides to be.
Because, I mean, if we're not close to shore, the ocean's pretty quiet. The ocean doesn't make a lot of noise unless the oars are slapping. Other than that, the ocean doesn't make a lot of noise.
Oh, they're slapping.
So if we pull up the oars and there's no noise from that, there's no sound of like surf or anything, because you can hear that a fair distance out. Just saying.
Yeah. Okay. So the light is seen and pointed out, and you all make the course correction and start to head towards the lamp on the shore. And eventually you get to the point where you can see a few people kind of lingering around on the beach. You can hear them walking or crunching on the sand. And then as you get even closer, several of them wade out into the water and proceed to guide the boat onto shore. and Flint will hop out, as will Hickson, to allow the boat to raise enough to be more easily pulled onto the shore. And then once you are there, you can see there appear to be 4 humanoids with hoods on, and occasionally as one will walk past the lamp or the other lamp from the ship, you can see that they appear to be yeah, they appear to be they appear to have very furry skin and fuzzy faces, and then as you get a good look, one of them, it's like a snout comes out from the hood, and you hear a very rough, gravelly voice saying, "Everything okay?" Flint says, "Everything's okay. Everything's going according to plan. These are the guys that have agreed to hunt Covidious." That's good.
I give a look over. Yeah, I look over at Boris, and I don't look very happy.
Do I recognize the snouted face? What kind of creature this is?
I would say roll.
I'm trying to get a closer look.
Roll a d20, and we'll see if you have encountered this species in your past.
17.
17. Okay, so I would say you have not. As you look at them, and as they continue to be in your presence and you in theirs, you get the sense that these are as if wolves were given intelligence and began to walk on 2 legs. And they appear to be very muscular. With their walk is totally different than what you're used to seeing on humans. The way they kind of move and look around and smell the air reminds you of wolves or domesticated dogs. But these things are talking in hushed tones and occasionally a little louder, and then there's a lot of sniffing of the air going on as well. So Flint says, "Okay, we are going to go to a safe place where we will get some rest and some food. You've earned it, gentlemen. So far, everything is going perfectly. So follow me." And he...
Are we on the mainland now?
Pardon?
Are we on the mainland now?
Is your character asking someone, or are you...
I'm asking Flint.
Oh.
Are we on the mainland now?
Yes.
I look around and see if there's are these 4 creatures still around?
Yeah, but they're not crowding you or anything. They're kind of hanging around each other and about 20 feet away, and Flint's talking to them, and Hickson's talking to them, along with trying
How are they armed?
gather your things.
Are they visibly armed?
They appear to have these weird, almost like hooked, bladed weapons that seem a little bit longer than a short sword, but they're thinner at the hilt, and then they widen out. And then at the top of these weapons, you can see there's like a piece that's been fashioned that's almost like a hook You've never seen a weapon quite like it before.
Some kind of a sword, though, right?
I guess you can call it a sword if you want.
There's no horses around?
Only the invisible ones.
All right. How far away is Flint and the 4 creatures from me and Boris?
How far is Flint away from the 4 creatures in Boris? I mean, he's...
No. Okay, me and Boris are standing side by side, and Flint is how far away from us?
4 feet.
Okay.
He doesn't seem to be just kind of standing around. He seems to be getting the other guys there and Hickson to get all the stuff off the boat before it leaves.
I put my hand on Boris's shoulder and said, "Come here, I want to talk to you."
Okay.
Okay, so the small one.
Oh, Brad just sent me a message.
What'd he say?
Did he send anybody else a message? Hang on. Phone was dead. Okay, Cobb, get in touch with this man.
Oh, I missed a call. Well, that's...
Anyway,
okay.
while you're messing with him, I'll talk to Boris real quick. Boris, I don't know if you agree with me, but Flint is not our friend, and I don't know what these creatures are, but I don't trust them at all.
Well,
I think we can take them.
Flint did get him out of the flavors, but he hasn't told me much about my sister yet.
Oh, contact.
No.
Huh? Say what, Cobb?
Oh,
Yes, Cobb.
I'm sorry. I'm being dumb. I'm gonna cancel the jam and then I'm gonna remonkey. So just hold on.
Yeah, me and Daryl are talking right now in character, so that's okay.
All right, here we go.
So that's what I want to happen, Boris, and I basically will explain that to you as diplomatically as possible. And I think that between the two, I think we can take them. If we have to, Boris, we can take these people.
I want to find out
I'd like
about
to get
my
Flint.
sister. He knows something or can help
We
me.
need to separate Flint from these people, and let me put my knee on his chest for a couple minutes, and then I think we'll get some answers. I've been waiting for a chance to flex on this guy. Now he's been dragging us through the mud and using us like pawns. I'm no man's pawn, Boris. That's over now.
Well, that don't make no sense.
That's weird.
But
Now there's a big time echo.
yeah, I heard the birds. The boy.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get Funk Monkey in the Shim Sham. Alright, there's one of them. Hold on. And the other guy's here?
I don't know.
Alright, hold on. Let me...
Yeah.
I'm gonna add him. Where the fuck is Daryl?
Yes, I just got home from group. Well, smack.
What the fuck?
What?
There's all these Daryl-aroos, it's not Daryl. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to send you an invite from the other thing, okay, Brad?
Alright.
So I'm going to hang up, and then you should get an invite right back.
Okay.
Okay, there's Daryl. Maybe. Nobody? What the fuck? Come on, people. Alright, this is weird. Okay,
Myriad.
there's Daryl.
I've been here the whole time, man.
I can't get Brad to join on this fucking call even though he's on there. And I gotta go piss.
Oh, no. Somebody's trying to join.
Okay, let's... Alright. Daryl, I'm gonna hang up. Well, Jason says Jason's here, but nothing's coming through, so... I'm gonna...
Yeah, he's got the spinning wheel.
Okay, hold on. End call. Alright, I'm still trying here. Hold on. I don't know why. I'm sending you invites, but I guess you're not seeing them?
Clicking until now. This is the first one I've gotten.
I don't know. I don't know. It's acting weird, stupid. That looks like Daryl LaRue, maybe. Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's do this. And let's see if they'll join in now.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
Oh, there they are. Alright. Now we're cooking with gas.
Hooray!
Remember on the old Tom Slick cartoon where they'd be all like, yay.
I do. Okay. So Brad said that he found his stuff, and that's great. So, would either of you like to bring Brad up to speed on where his character suddenly appears? I guess.
Hopefully rowing this damn boat.
I don't know rowboats.
Oh, well, that's what I said, and I wound up rowing the goddamn boat. So, shut up.
All right, so Bart, morning came, and Flint gathered everybody and said, I'm going to be back at dusk. No, not Flint. You saw your friends talking with the village elder. Then Daryl's character went and did some stuff. And then Jason's character went and did some stuff. And then about in the afternoon, Flint came back and was like, okay, I'm going to be back at sundown, and you all are going to follow me. And he asked, unless your friend was going to get you there, and they were like, no, we agreed to take the boat. So, you basically walked through the forest and found a small, shallow bottom boat with a guy there and a lantern. And you got on there and you rowed across the ocean for 3 hours. And now you have just disembarked. And Bart, you will know that the creatures that were waiting on the shore of the mainland with the lamp to guide your boat, these other two guys, I described them and I'm sure they know what these creatures are, but you would recognize them as gnolls. And they kind of listen to Flint, and they pull the possessions out of the ship, out of the boat, and set them on the ocean for you guys to pick up. And Flint and Hickson, who was steering the boat, Hickson's going to remain there with the gnolls, and Flint's like, we're going to go to a safe place to rest and get ready to start moving tomorrow. And I am going to take you to the last known whereabouts of Covidious. So, are there any questions before we start walking up the beach?
Those things going with us.
Is my sister here?
Probably not.
Answer the man.
I think your sister is in the next island up the chain of command.
Island? You said we were on the mainland.
He drops his head and sighs. We are on the mainland, but the slavers work off the islands. As they go further south, there are bigger and bigger threats.
The chain of command.
I look at Boris. I look at Boris and say, he doesn't know anything, Boris.
Make a charisma check. Make a charisma check, Guy. Normal chances.
27 again. That's my third 27 tonight.
Okay. Flint turns to you, Guy, and says, "Hey, you're free to go then, Guy. If you don't think I know what I'm talking
about. Your question about his sister.
And I answered him.
You told him you knew where his sister was, and now you say you don't know.
I said she's on an island further south. If you're asking, why don't you be more specific and say, when was the last time you saw this woman? I would say a couple of weeks ago. So if you're asking me, do I know where she is exactly at this exact moment? No. Because apparently that's the kind of communication that you need. You need everything spelled out for you. But I'm sorry.
He doesn't catch on too fast.
This shit doesn't work this way. But if you really want to know, why don't you ask fucking your new friend here that apparently can do things that no mortal man can do. Maybe he knows exactly where she is right now. Frankly, I'm getting a little sick of your fucking attitude.
Who said he could do super things?
Now, are we ready to go or
All
not?
right, take it to where Covidious. Take it to this Covidious as you wish. That's the only way we're gonna get any satisfaction, Boris.
He picks up his bags, he slings them over his shoulder, and he starts walking with the lamp.
That was the deal. And I walk too. I walk behind him.
I'll look at Bart and say, "Are you gonna follow us?"
Yeah. I'm here. Sorry.
Come on, Paco, let's go.
So you all trudge up the beach before heading into the forested area of the edge of the mainland.
I have my spear in hand.
Yeah, I have my just my bastard sword in hand. No shield. My shield is on my back.
Keep my boat ready in my hand.
All right. Brad, do you have a D12 available?
One.
A D12?
One.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Nice.
You found your dice. That's cool.
Good job.
Okay. I need all of you to make charisma checks, please. That's a D20 plus your charisma, and tell me your total. Gee?
I
I
got
rolled I rolled a natural 20, so 35.
Oh, explode.
so close.
I rolled a 5 that time, so 5 plus whatever, just a 20, dirty 20.
Roll 18.
So, Guy, you got a 20 plus your charisma, makes a what? 30-something?
So
35.
A 20 plus my charisma would be 35.
And then your explosion added 5 more for a total of 40.
Okay, yep.
All right. Boris?
I get a 24.
That is a success. And Bart, what'd you get?
18.
Okay, so this is a group check, and because someone exploded, that takes and helps out on the Bart failure on his charisma roll. So, but you still rolled a 1. So, along the way, you're trudging through this trail, and it's kind of an obvious trail. It looks like it's been not worked, but tread upon enough to where the dirt's impacted and the mud's like smooth, and it's wider than your average game trail, that anyone that might know anything about that would know. And
I'm a hunter.
in the woods is a it's like a polished. It's a large rock, so I don't want to say it's a rock. I want to say like it's a boulder the size of a human being, and it's round, but it's very smooth, as if it has been either removed from a river that has washed over it for thousands of years, or someone smoothed it and left it here, or perhaps it came from something else.
Is it polished like a tombstone?
Yeah.
When the lamp hits it, it gleams.
Correct. The color, upon further examination, you would be able to know more if either you had infravision or you wanted to stop and investigate, but Flint just kind of walks past it as if there's nothing unusual about it. So, do you all just keep following Flint, or do you do something
Is this a landmark, Flint?
Flint turns and he's like, I don't know what that is. I mean, as far as do I know that that's there? Yeah, so I guess you could call that a landmark.
It seems like a good one.
If you say so, Boris.
It's unusual.
Yes, this is not natural, if anything.
You could tell someone, go by the shiny stone, and they would know just what you meant.
What do you think, Long Ears?
I check it out. I check it out.
Okay, so you guys are all going to stop?
I think for a second, anyway.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna stop.
Okay, so Flint says, we don't have time to waste. Come on, the safe house is just up the way.
Hold up just 1 second.
Something about this is unusual.
So he stops and kind of walks back and illuminating the rock for everyone to see. You can see that it's a dark, almost black, but it's got these little white spots throughout it. Not emitting light, but the light that hits the sparkles as if it's quartz in some sort of black or darker stone. It's not any kind of pattern, it's just random, but the fact that it's polished is very unusual.
Right.
It's not like a obsidian, is it?
Is it like obsidian? Yeah.
What's the question?
Is it like obsidian? Translucent kind?
It's not quite dark enough to be considered that.
Wait, is it
It's not
translucent?
obsidian.
No, it's not, it's opaque.
Opaque.
You can't see through it. It appears to be
Obsidian's
solid,
opaque.
but it's not
Is it
black.
like so like a black box?
It's not black like obsidian. It's more. It's moving towards gray, but it's a very dark gray. Daryl's
More
got his,
like stone and glass.
Daryl's got his
Okay,
hand
I'm
up.
assuming it's like volcanic.
So Boris stays near Flint. He does not approach the stone, just so you know.
Okay.
He doesn't touch it,
Let's
but
go
he's
on.
looking at it.
So, Bart, do you do anything that I should be aware of as you look at this stone?
I touch it, see what it's
It feels like
polished.
it feels very smooth. Smooth like the first thing you think of when you touch it is this feels smooth like it's been made by a jeweler somehow. Like it's been in a
Faceted almost.
what do they call that? A tumbler?
Yeah, okay. I'm curious. Alright, let's move on.
Okay.
See, that didn't take very long.
Flint
Strange.
Flint turns around and keeps walking. Okay, and then after another 15 minutes or so, you see what appears to be a very cozy wooden structure in the middle of nowhere. And he walks right up to it and he opens the door and he says, "Everyone come in and make yourselves comfortable."
Well, look at this.
On the outside of this place, you can see there's what appears to have been a place for a garden, though it looks long overdue for some tender loving care. You see several buckets strewn about on the ground. You see a length of rope, and unless you wish to further inspect the outside or the grounds, that's all you'll see from the front. The door is open, and inside you can see Flint moving about as if he is transferring light from the lamp, removing the cover, and lighting other things inside the building. And as you enter in, it appears to be very Spartan. A couple mattresses or down-filled whatever on the floor. The floor is covered in these dry, crackly reeds that you would know that a lot of people put on their floors in a dirt floor that can't afford rugs or actual wood. There's a fireplace in the middle with a tripod next to it and a cooking pot. There is no fire currently in the fire. Appears to be dry wood off to the left, along with a table and 2 wooden chairs and a place that looks like a combination kitchen / work area perhaps for someone with only 1 room. There's no upstairs. There is a shuttered window on each wall, including 2 on either side of the front door. And you guys can do whatever it is that you would like to do. So why don't we start with...
Paco, make my bed.
We'll start with... okay, so that's good. What about you, Boris? Anything?
Yeah, I'll start a little fire in the fireplace, and I'm going to ask Flint as I'm doing this, so what did Covidious do to you, Flint, that you want to see him dead? You said he was a traitor, but you don't look Raymond to me.
Covidious he decided that he would hurt someone close to me. I am Raymond. And Covidious somehow, he was a very famous gladiator back in our homeland. Very successful. And
You said he was the duster, huh?
he somehow he was able to not only defeat his opponents, but they would somehow disappear from the arenas in a, like they would turn to dust.
So you think he's a wizard too?
I don't know what to think, other than he one day disappeared from the ranks of the army. And I'm not exactly sure why, but when I saw that he was here, I decided I would do everything in my power to destroy him.
Well, I'm sorry that he hurt your friend, and I hope we can find him.
Has he harmed other innocents?
He's a slaver.
I would like to think that he's a slaver, Bart, but his recent actions, I don't know if he's insane or if he can't make up his mind. He recently led a raid on a fort north of here and freed a bunch of slaves.
That makes more sense to me than Gladiator.
Well, he can't be all bad then.
The problem is that my members of my family were on that ship. And
That he freed?
that other Acaramans. So I don't know if you all can understand, but where I come from, blood is thicker than water. So he has to pay.
I understand. That's why I'm searching for my sister.
I certainly understand the bonds of blood.
I will admit it was a fortunate coincidence that when I heard about your missing sister, Boris, and I will admit it's a dick move to dangle the prospect of rescuing your sister in exchange for you helping me.
I won't argue that.
But I don't think I haven't found any other way to get at this guy. He's too smart. He's too skilled. He's surrounded
It
himself
sounds like
with
he has friends.
He's surrounded himself with some powerful allies. One of
Yes,
them.
and we know about these allies. Wait,
Yeah, let's hear about the allies.
You don't know of these people, and both Boris and I have heard about them and know what they have done, and that's why we went seeking them and how you found us in the first place. These are not bad people. These are, by all accounts, heroic people.
So
Brave people.
if COVID is working with them, it will be hard to get to him.
That being said, also, I didn't come here to fight these people. I came here to join them.
Me too.
If he is among the people I have come to join, I will ask you this then, Flint. Give me at least a day to determine whether or not this man is, as you say, insane. But I think you, in fact, let me just say, I do think that you should perhaps reassess your evaluation of this individual.
He says, I've made up my mind. I've set a plan in motion. I rescued you two from a life of slavery in exchange for this job. And for perhaps, Guy, I can't promise you to find anything that you're missing. So, if you feel like there's a conflict of interest, then I can't help you. But I can help Boris.
I feel like there needs to be resolution.
There's only one resolution for... It's an eye for an eye. Covidious must return to the Mother Skell. How he avoided his fates on the lower continent, I don't know.
Then I say take it to this Covidious and let us measure him for what he is.
The others I have no quarrel with. If
you will.
If you can get them...
They're his friends.
Maybe you can get them to turn on him.
These people are all friends. We were told that they were a group of heroic friends. If these all people are friends, then I doubt, unless in the time between now and then, he has lost his mind and killed who knows how many people, then we have to go find out.
Maybe he's a spy and he infiltrated these heroes.
He may be dead already. We heard that many people died. I heard that many people died. Didn't you, Boris?
There was a great battle at the fort. I heard about it.
Well, if he is...
He may be dead for all we know.
If he is dead,
so we
I
can't know
will...
until we know.
If he is dead by some grace of the fates, I will still honor my agreement with Boris.
I'm not
I hope so.
disagreeing with our agreement, but we need to go and find him and see for ourselves what has happened.
Well, we're going to go there, so you're going to get what you want.
Lord Bartholansis, are you in agreement with it?
I'm going for the ride, so I'm going to wait and see what happens. I don't know what's to the
He's not sure what to make of you either.
I've never met an elf before or talked to one. I've seen some, but never talked to them.
It's like a weird situation, yeah. He's not sure how to deal with this situation. You're just kind of like make-believe. You're Santa Claus. It's like you're there and okay.
Like a ghost.
I came down this way because I heard of slavers and I wanted to see what was up.
Flint.
McGee's not afraid of you. McGee just doesn't know what to make of you. And when he calls you long ears, that's a term that was used by his people for elves, and it's not like a derogatory term. So, but again, he is sometimes hard to understand. He sometimes comes across as a dick. So
He's abrasive.
You may have taken that as an insult. He didn't mean it that way.
No, didn't take it that way.
You've probably been called worse by Gaspar.
I want to find out what I seen in my implement in that rock.
Yeah, Bart is being liberally dragged into God knows what.
He's used to that.
He's marching
In
along.
that situation,
We brought this nuclear material with us. Don't mind.
I'm attaching it into something.
It's just a small atomic weapon. It's okay. Don't panic.
It's only about 3 grams of the token. You're alright.
At least we're on the mainland. God.
That's what he says anyway.
Well, then.
It feels like it.
Guy is still. If he gets a chance, he's gonna put his foot on this guy's neck.
Take it easy, Guy.
Who, Flint?
Yeah.
He's humiliated. I'm a lord. God damn it.
He's a bit abrasive, yeah.
He's humiliated me more than once. But
Yeah.
like I said, Guy is a patient. You see, you may not get that, but even you, Boris, but Guy is a patient man.
To a point. and then he pops.
Well, he hasn't had. When's the last time he really popped? He hasn't really popped. He just kind of.
It was that time when we were talking to the village leader, and you were like, "A couple of my buddies and me could wipe this whole village out."
Yeah.
Well, that was like he said that he thought out loud. That's what he did. He was like, "Oh."
What? Yes, Brad. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm wondering what I've seen in the rock with my infravision.
Oh, you just saw what I described.
That is it?
I mean, infravision lets you see in the dark, and it looks the same in the dark or if there's a lamp on it.
Okay.
There might have been more to be found had there been a proper, thorough inspection or whatever. But maybe not. Maybe it's just a big rock.
How far away is it from the cabin?
I think I said about 15-minute walk.
Oh.
I may go back out and check out the rock.
Oh, Bart.
All right. Do you say anything to these guys? Or you just kind of get up and walk out?
Tell them to go for a walk. Go see this rock. Need better inspection now. I know where we are.
What?
Okay.
I want to ride and check my head on it.
No.
Okay. He's like, I'm getting ready for bed. Get something to eat.
Man, plenty of sleep.
I don't know your way. Yeah, he just shakes his head.
Once I get the fire going, I'll settle back on a bed and I say, okay, be careful.
Yeah, Guy imagines you're going to go out and dance around a big circle of mushrooms with
Maybe.
with dozens of little fairy women and dudes in pink hats and stuff like that. Yeah, so he's like, wow.
Oh, crap. Hold on.
Yeah, you don't want no part of that. Ring around.
He flipped the rig. He must be getting a phone call.
Oh, a phone call.
Trump the Mumford.
All right, so Bart leaves the scene. So
He's still chattering and Bart goes out the door.
yeah, do you guys do anything other than go to sleep after Bart leaves, or?
Well, Flint said something about food, so I'm kind of sniffing around and looking for what's available.
All right, so
Yeah, I'm hoping Paco's cooking something up.
well, when you say cooking something up,
He's got the boot and he's pouring the water through the boot in the bowl.
Well, there's a fire going. Surely.
And a cooking pot.
There should be some food provided. Just like, what the hell?
yes,
Obviously, Paco is a servant.
Flint
hasn't figured that out by now.
Flint produces good hearty foodstuffs, some bread and some cheese and some salted fish.
Woo! See, Paco will prepare me a plate. So that's what I'm talking about.
Very good. And the food is kind of what you expect.
It's yummy.
It's bread.
Yeah. Welcome back.
All right. And then after you guys eat, I'm guessing you'll go to sleep?
For a long winter's nap.
Yeah, well, we'll rest in the evening.
Okay. So, Bart. Oh, inquisitive Bart. You head off down the trail. And
The next morning we find the body.
you find that rock that's just sitting there minding its own business. And what do you do?
I cast detect magic on it.
You cast detect magic.
Shit.
Well, you say the words of the components to shape the magic. And as a tiny little mote of energy comes from somewhere in your being, though none of the flora and the fauna can see it, your eyes suddenly light up and emit invisible rays. And as they alight upon this polished boulder of dark gray and quartz, you do detect a very strong magic upon this rock. What else might be revealed with the casting of that spell? Do you have that in front of you?
This here.
If not, I'm sure I
I think
can...
it tells you what kind of magic it is.
Didn't take monitor strong glowing. Wizard also has a 10% chance per level to recognize if a certain type of magic, alteration, conjuration, etc. Is present. Caster can turn scanning to 60 degrees arc per round.
Alright, let's see here.
More thickness.
You probably got a good chance to know what kind of magic is on it.
Yeah. It's just solid metal rock.
Okay.
1 inch thickness.
If Bart is 10th level, he should be able to automatically know what kind of magic is on it.
Yeah. What type of magic and where it lies in it.
You detect... Do you want me to say this out loud, or do you want me to send you a private message? Okay.
I just like to remember.
The intensity is strong.
Right.
The type of magic is definitely alteration.
Right?
Ooh.
See, something's been changed into this rock.
And what else do you do?
I just really walk around the rock and inspect it really well. I'm trying to figure
right.
out what it is.
Roll me a...
I'm still listening.
Roll me a perception check, please. And that is a D30 plus your intelligence. Give me the total.
It is, 18. So that's, 32, right? 36?
36. That is a success. Okay. So as you look around this thing and then get even closer, you start to see tiny little cracks in the stone. Stone that you don't feel it. When your hand is on the stone, you don't feel the cracks. It's like the cracks are underneath the surface. And then as you inspect even closer, you start to see that they're not cracks at all, but they're actually patterns. And some of it is random and some of it is not. And it's as if either someone was able to coat an etching that was put upon this rock, or perhaps there's something about the rock that makes you believe that it was more of a puzzle that was put together. And that is what your roll reveals.
Okay.
And you can't see the bottom because the bottom's kind of set in the ground, and over time, dirt's kind of
sat there for some long time.
Buttressed up a little bit. Not a ton, just a little bit, as if maybe it's settled because it's so heavy.
Right. Oh, what else to do with it? Let's see. Alright, cool. That's nice to know. Alright, I'll go back to the cabin.
Okay. So when you get back to the cabin, I would like, I'd say these two are just starting to finish up with their food when you walk back in.
Okay.
Everything all right?
Oh, everything's fine, thanks. The rock's not just a rock, that's for sure.
Ah, you went back to the rock.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Not sure, but it's magical.
Oh, no.
Well, it was certainly unusual.
Yeah, definitely unusual.
Cobb, was it a perfect sphere, or was it just a natural-looking shape?
In my mind, I'm picturing it more like closer to an egg shape instead of like round. That's kind of the way I'm picturing it. With the kind of the bottom, the bigger edge of the egg is plunked into the ground.
Was that like runes? That shit, or?
I mean, if they were runes, they're unlike any runes, and they didn't stand out as being anything apart or less or more magical than the entirety of the boulder itself. I would say, considering the things that you've seen, that would be a negative.
Okay.
A dragon's egg, that would be something.
Not to mention the dragon egg that you know, they're not as hard as a rock. They have a different texture.
More like leathery.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you smell it great, but
He hangs the stocking over the fire.
it's definitely interesting. Deserves a closer look and some magic, but I ain't got time for it right now. I'll definitely come back and look at it.
Okay.
I
Flint's
think we need to find the fortune.
Flint says, Bart, do you want any of this food before I put it away?
Yeah, I'll have some.
Okay, so he put some stuff off on the table before wrapping the rest of it up and apparently storing it back into a big barrel.
Remember now, I told Paco to serve him if necessary. So if anything, Paco would stand in the plate.
That's up to you, man.
So Paco does that. Paco Paco serves Bart.
Right.
And he bows and smiles and, yes, sir.
Okay, so after the meal is had and everyone's comfortable, unless you say different, sleep comes to you all. Except for the
That's another 2 hit points per night, Cobb. I don't remember. We're not getting any special sleep.
As far as I know,
All right, rules.
it's 1.
1.
Ooh, we had good food. Yeah, we rode the boat all night, so that's good. We rode the boat and then walked all night, so. Wow.
Alright.
Guy is still looking kind of got dark circles under his eyes and stuff.
That boar did a number on us, man.
Guy's starting to feel it after rowing the boat. He's like, oh.
I healed up a little bit when I went back through the wall and got normal size again, but I'm still hurting.
When Guy settles down for the night and Paco settles down, Guy will pat Paco on the shoulder or the back and say, thank you. You've done me a great service. Yes, master.
Let me go back and see that wall again. Oh, I'm interested in that thing.
Yeah, Guy just rolls over and goes,
It was neat. It was all vines. I think it was something from the goddess. Meant to befuddle the days of men.
One day, Boris, I'm going to go back to that island with some of my friends.
I just bet you would. Did you make any arrowheads today?
I don't make anything.
Me neither.
Alright, so
I'm not a maker, I'm a taker.
I would like all of you to roll charisma checks, please.
That's what she said.
Oh,
That's a
jingle bell.
roll,
Oh, that's a good one.
roll a d20, add it to your charisma, and give me the total. And we'll start with Geek.
27. Oh,
28.
28, that's a success. Bart,
27.
that's a success. Boris,
31.
that is a success. So, you have pleasant dreams. You dream of whatever it is that you would like to, that has something positive in it. Boris dreams of finding his sister and being overjoyed. Guy dreams of
Finding a horse.
having a horse and riding it through an incredibly difficult thicket with no injuries at all. Bart, during your reverie, you're kind of laying there, and whether your eyes are open or closed, and you're letting memories flow through you as you process your journey and the day's events. And there's something about that stone. And you're thinking you might have seen that stone before. Except for it was a very, very small stone. In the ring of someone that you met many, many years ago. There used to be a there used to be a ship's captain that would occasionally go from the south to the north, and he would go around the edge of the continent and stop in at Tila before continuing on. And you seem to remember that he wore a gem like that in his ring. And it's just kind of odd that as you think about the ring and about the lines in the ring, and they make you think of someone who is at sea and using the stars to triangulate their movement. That's all. And then eventually, everyone awakens. The sound of the forest outside and the sounds of people who are in the same area moving, and eventually everyone comes to consciousness with regaining a hit point and re-energized for another day. No one seems to be too sore from the previous day's adventure, as far as like muscle aches. Now, if you still have wounds, that's on you, because I don't have any idea what your hit point totals are. So
yeah, I'm still kind of beat up. If anything, Paco will, if there's fresh water, Paco will get a large bowl of water and take it around to everybody, starting with me.
All right. Anybody else?
Guess when I get up, I put on my armor.
And which armor? Which armor?
The one that I just had made. The only armor I have.
The witch armor!
There will be a drawing of this in the next day or so.
It's black leather armor.
No, it's scale.
Yeah. Well, it's still leather.
You described it to me as scale, sir.
Right.
Leather scale.
Yep.
Okay. I've drawn it. I've started drawing it, so I might have to amend it.
Okay.
I have to draw it down a little bit now.
That's fine.
So I get my gear and I tamp out the fire to make sure it's all safe. And I say, okay, I'm ready to keep going.
When I step outside, I'll make sure Paco helps me get into my armor. I certainly don't sleep in my armor. That's a bad idea. That's like sleeping inside of a trash can in the trunk of a car that's on a trailer. So.
We got a group of football players working in it.
So Bart, you said that stone was magic.
Yeah.
We're going to the port. No. We need to go find this. We need to go get this settled right shortly.
I'm just asking about the stone.
Your sister's not the stone board.
I know. I just think it's interesting. We can talk while we walk.
Well, we're not walking towards the stone.
All right, so
I say keep away from it. That wall, the stone, the Temple of Hera.
no.
See what you
Jason,
get?
We're not prepared to deal with these things.
I was just asking.
Stronger spell for find out what it is and what it does.
It looks like a giant egg. No.
It's out of place for sure.
It definitely is.
I've never seen nothing like that.
It's not where it should be, put it that way.
All right, so
in my raising, you keep away from things like that. Bad.
What if it's a giant's toy?
It's not a giant.
Well, I don't want to meet the giant then. That was big. I've seen you. That was big. That's the biggest thing I've ever seen with 2 legs and teeth.
all right, I
really don't want to meet something like that again, but hey.
I need Guy to roll me a d12.
Uh-oh.
I
Do I want to roll a 1?
No.
I rolled a 10.
All right.
Let's go.
I need Boris to roll me a d12.
Ooh, we're moving through.
That's a 1.
Oh
I'm
no!
sorry, 7.
Oh,
7, I'm sorry.
you fucking fuck.
I had to get the wrong angle on it. I thought I was screwed.
All right.
Cobb had some pre-cum there.
Oh.
I'm disappointed in you. All right. And I need Bart to roll a d12.
7.
All right. Well, you all traveled for 3 days uneventfully.
Wow.
I will hunt at some point to help feed people.
Yeah. Do we lack food or water?
I don't have any with me. Just what he brought.
I'm just asking, do we lack food or water? Is it obvious that we lack food or water?
You don't lack water, for sure. Food seems to somehow mysteriously always pop up at least once a day. Like Flint goes somewhere
We
and
got Cleric with us?
comes back with food. As if this way may have been prepared ahead of time.
I will ask Paco at some point if he feels that he's been properly fed.
He's been fed like you have.
Good enough.
All right. So, at the end of the
I always do tell Paco he does a good job. Just remember that.
At the end of the 3rd day, Flint says, "You know what, you guys? You have been keeping your mouth shut, not doing stupid things. So, I'll leave it up to you. Tonight, do you want to stay in an inn? Or do you want to stay outside the town?"
I'll stay outside the town no matter what.
What's the name of this town?
The name of this town is Suckabilly.
What?
Suckabilly.
I still don't hear what you're saying.
Suckabilly.
Suck a Billy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you said the first time, and that's my job kicking in, but I couldn't be sure. First of all, I'll defer to Boris and say, "You want to go to town, Boris? I mean, I could be comfortable in the inn, but we need to we need to resolve what we're doing."
I don't need anything. I'll stay out here.
Look to Paco and say, "Paco, do we need to go to town for anything? Wait a minute. I can get a horse. Boris, I need a horse.
This isn't the time for sexual adventures. Oh, wait, you said horse. I didn't hear you
I
right.
grab Boris' shoulder and shake his shoulder and say, damn it, Boris, you know what I said.
I don't need anything from town.
How far away is this town? Flint, I need a horse. I don't want to go to town. I don't think we should broadcast our appearance, but I need a horse.
You need a horse.
Do you have money for a horse?
No, but you want me to fulfill your thing. You want me to do this thing with Covidious. I am a warrior from horseback. If I can meet him on horseback, I dare say he'll be ill met.
I 100% believe you. I don't have any money.
All right. Whether we go into town or not, I will not make that decision. I agree with Boris. I think we should stay out of sight. Bartholantis?
I don't believe you need a horse to do this horse riding.
I'm a cavalier, Bartholantis. I was practically born on the back of a horse. I'm a horse-born warrior. From horseback, I'm a deadly warrior.
He was born from horses?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, Boris! Even Paco laughed. Paco!
How much is a horse?
A war horse? Never mind.
How much is a horse for?
No. Let's just stay out of town. No. Never mind.
Whatever.
I can fight on 2 feet. Boris has seen that.
Flint says, you know what we could do is we could have Bart make his mansion for us and we could sleep in there.
Well, that's what I planned on doing anyway, you know, I was going with him.
Mansion? What mansion?
That's not a mansion, but it's a nice house.
I thought I saw one, but then I didn't.
Yes, I thought you were full of crap, Boris, and maybe not.
So, Bart, what do you do?
Well, we find places, and when we're head down at night, I'll, transport, secure shelter.
Morgan Canaan's magnificent mansion.
Yeah.
Oh,
spell.
let's see. Let's look up that spell.
I don't know where my spell is. Because I remember when my spell is different.
It should be in, which book was it? Yeah, but still, yeah, Morgan Canaan's magnificent mansion is a good one.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's weird.
Alrighty.
That was in Unearthed Arcana.
So you all, unless Brad, would you like to narrate your casting the spell, or would you like me to do it?
Go for it. I'm still trying to find all my spells.
So you all see Bart pull forth a little round, white-looking piece of some type of material. It's like you would think it's wood, but it's about 2 inches high and about 1 inch across, and it looks like an archway. And then he pulls out a little polished rock, very similar in look to the rock that he was so enamored with back a few days ago.
Ooh.
And then finally a little tiny silver spoon. And he begins motioning these things, and then he lets them go and they float in front of him as he motions his hands, and they start to bump into each other, and then they begin to spin as he starts to speak. Amuna Shidika, Amuna Shidika, Amuna Shidika. And you're not sure if he's speaking Elvish or the magic language, but energy starts to flow from each individual piece and back to his hands before finally he raises his voice and says, Amuna Shidika! He slaps his hands together and the three pieces all combine. And then a small tiny light appears about 20 foot in front of him. And as quick as you can count to 2, all of these pieces of building material start to form as if a fast motion video, and it starts from the ground and goes up as if you're looking at a video game. The cracking and slapping of pieces together until after this took all like 7 minutes to cast. Standing before you appears to be a building with windows and doors and roof and everything.
Wow.
What an animal bug. Oh.
He is stupefied.
And then the thing that you saw built disappears, and what remains is a shimmering portal similar to the tiny one that he had pulled out. And he says, "Come on in, gents." And he goes and he walks through the portal.
I follow.
He enters. Yeah. He is like, yeah,
So
like a Rankin Bass Christmas special.
as you enter, you behold a magnificent foyer and numerous chambers beyond. The place is furnished and contains sufficient... He explains all this. He says, there's all kinds of food here. You can get whatever you want. I have these invisible servants that will wait on you hand and foot if you require.
Whoa.
It's very clean and fresh, and no one can come in if I don't want them to.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go eat something.
He is like, I want to take a bath.
Bart says, you can take a bath. He says,
And he'll tell Paco, be free, my friend. Do whatever you wish.
The only thing that you should be aware of is that if you eat the food that is provided, it will definitely feel and taste like real food. But as soon as you leave this place, the food will disappear from you. And if you have not eaten, you will be struck with the most ravenous of hunger pangs. So be aware of that.
I'm just gonna sit down the bread that I was about to chow down.
Yeah. He wants to bathe and drink some wine.
So if you all each would like to tell me what you do upon given the option to relax or do whatever. So how about we start with Boris on this one? What do you do, if anything?
Well, I'm gonna get to know Bart a little better if he's hanging around. How did you learn to do this? This is amazing. You just created this from nowhere.
Years of practice.
You're from the Emerald Forest. That's to the north, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's pretty far past my kingdom, my homeland.
No, I'm far from home.
I'm getting closer.
I bring it with
This is very nice. Thank you for your hospitality.
me. Anytime. Anybody want bay wine? I'll dig out some bay wine.
That sounds good. And I'll just sit and relax and have a glass of wine and just, I'm amazed at the whole situation.
Okay, anything other than what you said, Guy?
Guy is like in a hot tub with a big, I don't know if you've seen those old paintings where they don't use them anymore for wine, but they have like these big, like almost like plates with like a, there was like a plate with like a stem or like a wine glass. And so Guy is in this hot tub with this wine glass plate and a dish of hors d'oeuvres next to him, and he's just like, my Lord Bartholansis, I never imagined.
Traveling style.
Because part of Guy like almost robotically clicks into the food and all the pleasure. Like, oh, here we are. Yes, here. Also, part of him is still like, this is, I'm not even sure if this is all just a crazed drug dream.
We're still dying.
Got put on the boat. I'm going to wake up and be like, oh, whoo, what happened? Where am I? Whew.
Clean.
Paco, I don't know what Paco would do in this situation except maybe find a nice comfortable bed all of a sudden and just, like me, just like enjoy a nice bath, get clean, and go to sleep in a nice comfortable bed.
Well, I gotta study my books, so I'm gonna retire into a room. Enjoy yourself,
Well,
Tom.
good night, and I will do the same.
Yeah, Guy will doze off in the hot tub and wake up in a nice feather bed.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so unless someone needs to do something, they will drift off to peaceful sleep. I need all of you to make charisma checks, please.
Uh-oh.
And we'll start with
I rolled
Bart.
one.
What'd you get, Bart?
I got 29.
That is a success. Boris?
24.
That is a success. And then I heard Guy say he rolled a 1, so he implodes.
Well, my second roll was an 18.
Alright. So everyone wakes up feeling refreshed and various states of
I had a bad dream
cleanliness.
about a horse.
Does anyone do anything I need to be aware of in the morning?
I go outside
I shake.
immediately.
I shake out my loincloth and my cowl, my wolf pelt. Make sure all my belts are in good condition and make my way out.
Guy?
Yeah, when he wakes up, first thing he does is go outside.
Let me see if you can.
So you're leaving your armor inside?
I wake up and go outside. That's what I said. They still got bunny bread in Missouri?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I said. Bunny bread. How about
Heck
Mayro's
yeah.
beef? Or Mayro's meat? You still got Mayro's?
I haven't seen one of those commercials in a long time. Do you remember Uncle Leonard that sold the TVs?
My sister played in a golf tournament with him. He said he was a really nice, friendly old dude.
He seemed
Uncle
like it
Leonard,
on TV.
And how about, don't forget Steve Mizarani.
How could we?
Remember Steve Mizarani on the hill?
Him and the Sliman brothers.
All right, so Gee, you walk
Whatever happened to
outside.
Becky? What about Becky, the Queen of Carpet?
I didn't have no more. Don't see your commercials ever anymore.
I mean, I haven't been there in like 30 years, so I did.
So Gee, you walk
Yeah, no,
outside.
my sister played in like some kind of like charity golf tournament, and her partner was Uncle Leonard.
Where is that?
All right, so Gee, you walk outside.
Uncle Leonard.
Gee, you walk outside and do what?
Take a deep breath, fall to my knees, and pray.
Okay.
That's crazy. That was insane. After all the shit we've been through, and then all of a sudden we're in the goddamn Addams Family mansion. What the hell?
Okay, Bart, what are you doing this morning? Anything? Uh-oh. 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 There you go. Bart, are you doing anything this morning?
I'm looking for a spell for Gee. Oh, what level it is? That's right. Yeah.
Boris will head outside
Oh, there it is. Right there.
and creep around a little bit to see if he can get some small game.
Well, you see E on his knees.
What's first?
I won't stab you with a spear.
That's okay.
I move along. I don't disturb you.
Oh, Lord.
It's first level. Come on.
All right, Boris, roll me a hunting check, please.
Huh?
Boris, roll me
I
a
rolled
hunting
a
check.
1.
Oh no, implode!
10.
10. Okay.
Damn it.
That is just a plain old fumble.
Oh, come on. A giant boar. Come on.
I'm snapping twigs and I'm rustling leaves and I'm going in the wrong wind direction. Nothing's going my way.
So yeah, you go out, the hunting isn't too good. You come back,
Be very, very quiet.
you come back and I need you to roll percentile first.
27.
Okay,
Did you hear that? 27?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Does Guy see him returning from his hunting trip?
Well, that's what I'm going to tell you here in a second.
Damn, my turn.
Boris, do you have any way of telling where you're going in unfamiliar territory?
I have not got any sort of orienteering or navigation other than my natural hunting ability and my learned skills to be able to know where I've been and where I've gone. I have nothing other than that.
To know where you've been and where you've gone, you have tracking?
No, I have hunting.
Okay.
And I was raised in the countryside.
Just not this one.
Right.
So, you rolled a 27, huh?
Did I?
I think you did.
On what?
Percentile.
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. So,
I was still thinking of the 1. I got a 1 sitting here, or a 10, when I imploded.
you go out into this unfamiliar territory, and you start to hunt, and you have a terrible time. You scare off some game, you get down upwind one time, it's just, fuck. So then you look around and you're like, well, let's just start walking back. And then you're walking for like an hour and you're like, what the fuck? Where am I?
Oh, no.
You're lost. So, Boris hasn't been back for an hour. Meanwhile, Bart's inside the tower, and as you look around, Guy, you notice that there's no tower, there's no mansion there.
Boris!
Boris, roll me a D20, please.
8.
No. Guy cries out, Boris! Now I would like Guy to roll me a D12.
Who?
Guy.
I rolled a 1.
You guys, so alright. So here we got simultaneous monkey. We got Boris lost. We got Guy shouting out. And as he does that, he's like shaking his head because he notices the magnificent mansion is not where he thought it should be. I mean, he just walked out of it not too long ago.
Staying in his underwear.
When creeping over a low hill appears to be a hungry predator cat. Like a mountain lion. And it's looking at you like you're going to be its next morsel of food. The encounter distance is 80 feet. What would you like to do?
Now, is there a door or no? There's nothing that I can see.
Correct.
Yeah, if he has permission to be in there, you should be able to see the door.
Read your spell,
Oh, okay.
or I can read it for you.
Yeah, I don't have it at
So
hand.
I don't see a door or anything like that.
No.
Okay. I got a dagger. I got my dagger.
That's great.
I pull my dagger.
Can I hear yelling?
What'd you say, Brad?
Can I hear him yelling outside?
No.
Okay.
There's...
I really the only thing I yelled was Boris's name once, to be honest.
You got... Oh, no, that's all you did. It was enough. And then you rolled a 1 on top of it.
I was hunting a mountain lion, but I didn't find it.
No, you sure didn't.
So I will take a battle stance with my dagger, and if this thing is going to come at me, I'm going to have to fight it.
Okay.
I will make a loud rah, like threatening it. I'm not going to like pretend this is like a duel with another human being. I'll try to make a scare it away type thing.
All right. Make a charisma check, please.
16 plus 15 is 31.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Well, you do that, and
yeah, I stand up and put my arms up in the air and like make myself look as big as possible. What the fuck is going on?
let's see.
I just had a prayer and I wake up and there's this goddamn fucking mountain lion trying to kill me. Merry Christmas to me.
Merry Christmas to
For
you. All right.
I mean, I'll fight the mountain lion, damn.
Okay. It apparently is not frightened of you. So,
Shocking.
All right,
I
I'm
need.
ready.
All right, so it starts to approach. It gets low on the ground and it starts revving up. Meanwhile,
I wanted to go out and cast a spell. I don't know when.
are you memorizing any spells this morning?
No, I had to memorize one. I'd have been up early to do that. I only needed to memorize one. I only casted one.
Okay. All right. So, what is your action, Guy?
I will prepare. If it attacks me, I will attack it. Otherwise, I will hold my ground.
All right. So, it approaches. It leaps, which is a charge. So both of you roll initiative. And when you're when a charging thing attacks something that's waiting to attack, then you just go strictly by initiative. So Beto.
So D10.
Yep, Beto 1.
I rolled a 3.
All right.
I
So
rolled a 3.
its leaping attack gets to go first. Oh, that's a miss. It rolls a 2. You're lucky. Your turn.
I guess I get one attack with the dagger.
Except you're a fighter, you get 2 for 1.
Well, I don't have a specialty for the dagger. I rolled an 18, so I'm sure I hit it. Nonetheless.
This is Eternal Flame for Guinea.
All right,
My
yes.
taco is...
That's a hit. Roll dingus.
The game found him.
I don't get any special bonus for damage, so this is D4. And 2 points.
On your sheet, it doesn't say a D4 plus 1 or anything?
I don't have a strength bonus, and I don't have a bonus for dagger.
All right. Okay.
It's just a straight up D4.
2 points. Okay. And that's the end of the first round.
Yeah.
This thing, as you slice down, you just kind of slice a little bit into its left leg, and it's kind of like...
Yeah, when it swiped at me, I swiped back and caught it right in the leg.
Pulls away, but circles you, and it's getting down on its haunches like it's going to attack you again. What's your action?
I will roar, ah, and stab at it.
Roll initiative. Beat an 8.
About a 7.
All right, you go.
Come on, dagger. I rolled a 15, so I'm pretty sure that hit. My attack is 15.
So you hit an armor class of what?
That would be 0.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
Come on, baby. 2 points again.
All right, it's the cat's
It's only
turn.
1 to 4.
It's got a claw bite, and if it's 2 claws hit, then it gets to rake with its back claws. So
Oh, it gets the kick with the back feet. Oh!
we're gonna do the bite first. That hits an armor class of 3.
You got me, because I got no armor on.
All right. So a bite.
But I do have my armor class. I do know what my armor class is, so I'm hip. I still got a good dex, so I have an armor class adjustment.
All right.
So,
You take 2 points of damage from a bite. Now the claws.
All right.
First claw. Oh, misses horribly with armor class 11. Second claw.
yep,
Hits an armor class of 5.
that hits me.
All right, D4 on the claw. You take 2 more points of claw damage. So you
All right.
swing and you stick it right in its chest, but it like manages to mostly avoid it. You nick it for 2 points. Then it comes back and bites you on the forearm, on your arm, and you pull it out of its mouth, and you take the damage. And then it swipes, and its first claw it's missed, but its second one it catches you on your right knee. Slice! Ow! And that's the end of that round. Okay. We now go to Boris, who's lost. Do you do anything to change your status?
I'm gonna try to get to higher ground and maybe climb a tree.
Okay.
Look where the
Well,
sun
there's
is.
lots of
Those sort of things.
You're in lightly wooded, so there's lots of trees around. So you're gonna climb a tree, and you need to roll percentile. All right, with the abundant handholds of the tree, you are successful, and you climb. How high would you like to go?
It's high enough to see over the other trees and try to find a landmark like that stone or the cabin.
All right, you get up.
Yeah. Yeah, town.
You
Just looking to see what's around.
you climb the
An
tree.
invisible mansion.
Make me a perception check, please. Let's see what you see.
Oh, that's gonna be plus that. Not very good. That's a 12.
12? Alright, so you look up and you look around and you don't see a magnificent mansion and you don't see Gee fighting a mountain lion. So that is the end of your turn. Now we'll go to Brad, Bard of the Lanthus. You are doing
I
something.
did holler. Remember?
One time. Oh no. You roared at the beast.
I hollered the second time.
Yep, you roared at the beast.
Bart, what are you doing?
I was going to go outside and cast a spell for G.
Okay, so you walk outside of the mansion, and as you look around, you can see Guy fighting a mountain lion in his short clothes. And they're both bleeding.
Oh, great. Prepare to cast.
Alright, next round. The mountain lion is feeling pretty good about his chances, so he's gonna keep fighting. Guy.
I'm attacking.
Alright. Boris.
I'm gonna climb down, I guess, and walk in a different direction.
Okay.
Trying to find high ground.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Or like a Muppet.
Ah!
Okay.
Well, Cobb, what next?
Hold on.
Cast a rage missile.
Please stand by.
Daryl.
There's one thing you don't see anymore.
Daryl, roll
Please
percentile.
stand by. Sorry, someone kicked the plug out the wall. Sorry.
54.
54.
Somebody quit in the middle of their job. Sorry.
Okay.
I dated a chick who worked for KTVI, and she took me inside their studio one time up there on I think it was Kings Highway or something like that, and I don't remember where. It was up by the zoo. But yeah, it's like they just like put in a bunch of big tapes and stand there or sit there and read books. It's like yep.
It was in the basement of Cake Park Plaza.
All right.
Well, right next to the arena. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Guy, roll initiative.
Actually, it's right next to Mark.
3.
Okay. 2.
All right. So, Bart, what is the casting time of the spell?
1.
Then you go first.
Wow.
Verbal Medical, I will cast Medic Missile at the line.
All right. Evoc, Arcane, Elrod. 5 glowing balls of light and sound emanate from wherever Bart chooses them to come from. And they zip around in circles and past Guy before unerringly striking the target. The beast is shocked and dismayed as it feels pain coming at it in such a surprising fashion. Bart, roll Dinkus.
The five-handed missile will be some shit.
Oh yeah. Depending if I roll it.
That's the machine gun spell. That's the best damn spell in the world.
Boom.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 points.
16 points. The beast. Bart, Describe how your magic missiles kill the beast.
I guess they strike him one after another, and then like I don't know, small explosive arrows, I guess.
All right. As the creature
just turn him into
staggers backwards and flops over, its eyes start to roll back in its head, and the sizzling and smell that you hear from this energy striking the flesh of this creature wafts into the nose of Guy, and he realizes that the fight is over. And as the beast screams out, I would like Boris to roll another d20.
That's a magical blast.
13.
13. All right. He swears that he hears something coming from his left.
I'd better go that way.
So as you move over there, you come upon the scene that was just described. There appears to be a dead mountain lion with Guy standing very close to it, holding a dagger and bleeding, and Bart standing about
I rush over with my spear out. Oh,
20 feet away.
what happened? You're hurt.
He looks around at Bart like, what the hell did you just do? He is like bug-eyed and totally befuddled. This is the most magic he's ever seen in his life.
I hope.
Next to religious magic, he's seen that too. So, but no, this is like I said, crazy Christmas Rankin Bass special. He's just totally bug-eyed by what he's seen and experienced.
Super elf.
Wait, why did I hear your underwear?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I came outside and there was no place to return.
It's right here.
It's right there.
No, you don't see anything.
There was that tiny archway when we first went in.
Right, but once you go
Out
outside,
there now.
there's nothing there.
Well, he knows where it is, I'll bet.
What are you talking about? Where? What are you talking about?
I thought I saw it, but I bet he knows. Followed him.
Now, Brad, just because you
don't
know how
Put
your
your
spell
clothes
works,
on.
just because you don't know how your spell works doesn't mean Bart doesn't. So I'm going to read to you the spell.
I walked out.
Now, it's not dispelled, but the caster of the spell controls entry to the mansion, and the portal is shut and made invisible behind him when he enters. He may open it again from his own side at will. Since the place can be entered only through the special portal, outside conditions do not affect the mansion, nor do conditions inside it pass to the beyond. So,
Yes, sir.
Does that mean we could not have even opened the door?
Bart has to open it.
I have to open it.
Okay.
So I couldn't have gone outside then.
No, because you can leave whenever you want. You just can't go in.
Okay. That's fine. I understand that part. Yeah, I get that. So I'm fine with that. And
It's the opposite.
I get that.
It's the opposite of Hotel California.
Yeah.
What you want.
You never come back
Yeah.
in.
Right.
That sounds like a couple of conventions I've been to.
Alright, so I open the door.
I follow closely.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go back in all the time, bug-eyed, looking at Bart like, I'm not sure what you are.
Bart, you
I
know
could
that
butcher this
if it matters, you have 3 hours left on the mansion.
Alright. I'm sure we'll be on our way before then.
I could
Paco, get my armor now.
I could butcher this cat if we think we need the meat. I could use some fresh meat.
I'm not eating a damn cat. What the hell is wrong with you?
So, instead of going back in, I will stay out and process the dead cat.
Don't wander off.
I'll stay right here.
I will get fully armored, and Paco will gather my stuff, and I will go back outside once I'm armored.
You want to dress your wounds as we get on?
If you can.
Well, I mean, we stop the bleeding or whatever.
The injuries from the cat were not extensive, but I'm still quite injured from my encounter with the boar.
I can't heal you, but we can stay here for a while longer, let you stop bleeding or whatever.
My injuries from the cat were not extensive, but my injuries from the boar are lingering.
Okay. So we'll stay alone as well. We need to. A couple hours, I guess. I can't memorize the winning spells on what I've spent already, but...
Yeah, Guy will just lay there and kind of like, while Paco gets stuff ready, if we're going to be leaving, I'll put my armor on.
Well,
He is kind of confused by what's going on right now.
What do you need to know, Guy?
Alright.
Guy, like I said, Guy thinks he's living in a dream right now.
Okay.
So Boris, you proceed to remove the portions of the cat that you deem worth keeping.
I eviscerate the animal, and I skin it out, and I take the main cuts, the biggest cuts, and I'll wrap it in the hide and roll it up to be able to take it with me, and I'll dry it, I guess, and cook it as the time comes around.
Alright.
Oh.
Anybody else doing anything before you get going?
I gotta outside and cast Mount.
He is fully equipped for battle at this point.
I go outside without Guy out there. I cast Mount. I use a piece of hair or mane from Warhorse. It takes me a turn to cast it, so. But it lasts 2 hours plus 1 hour per level.
Alright.
So it should last a day for him. I have riding gear in my bag of holding. I harness it up for him. And he'll be waiting outside when he's ready.
Alright.
We got something to show you, G. I tried to cast it in front of him. You may not want to mind if you know the magical.
Don't cast it in front of me.
No, I don't. I cast it before I come back in and get you.
Okay. So I go out and I see a warhorse. Is that correct?
Yep.
And it's got a saddle and everything.
Yep.
With GG engraved on the saddlebag.
No, it's got Bart BA on the saddlebag.
I'll look at Bart and look at the horse and go like, what? For me?
For you. Yeah, see, spindly legs don't have to walk anymore.
He will leap onto the horse.
Nah, he'll only be here for the day, so.
Then you'll have me for the day, and you'll be lucky for it. I'll rear the horse up. Ha!
All right.
Now all I need is a lamp.
So that just happened.
Yeah, it's just a regular horse. It's nothing special. It's just.
Is it a war horse?
Yeah, it's a war horse.
Okay. As long as it responds to my stuff, I'm good.
It should.
I'm not going to do anything weird or crazy, but I can ride a horse. That's my specialty, riding a horse, a war horse.
All right, so
Let's walk.
Flint's been just kind of hanging out in the mansion, relaxing. And then as Bart, you go, you guys are ready to go.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to go back in and get him.
I'll go back in. Are we
Okay.
going or what?
I'm ready if you guys are ready. All right. So he exits the place and...
When Flint comes outside through the door, I will again rear the horse with my sword in hand and say, "Now you have me, sir."
He says... He looks up at Guy and then looks over at Boris and then looks at
He's just smiling.
Bart and he says... All right, 2 more days. We'll be there. Follow me.
Ah!
And he continues on. And you guys follow him?
Also, Bart, you may not have noticed, but his key is left-handed.
Okay.
I would
From
like
the left-handed person, the key is left-handed.
Boris to roll a d12.
11.
I would like Bart to roll a d12.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
8.
All right. So, 2 more days have passed. You get 2 hit points back.
Do you keep casting Mount for me, Bart?
I can't do it on the second day. Or when we get close to
All right.
time.
Still, Guy is amazed. He got to ride a horse for a whole day. He's just totally thrilled.
Okay, so as you all start to enter a more heavily forested area, you feel like you're going more uphill than level or downhill.
Traveling horse?
And as you come like to a clearing, and you can see a plume of smoke coming from somewhere ahead.
How big of a plume?
Like a
Big.
chimney? Like a chimney plume or a bonfire plume?
Bigger, yeah. More like a, perhaps something is like a house fire or
Something on fire.
A burning town plume?
burning building, perhaps.
Someone might be in trouble.
He says, "Forward, we must go."
I start to move more quickly. keep up with Guy.
Guy will hate you. Guy will go.
You're going to go on up ahead by yourself?
I will go towards the smoke with Boris. Boris, come on. Bart.
Okay, Flint's like, whoa, whoa, that's not where we're going.
Peter's
Where are we
in
going?
danger.
We're going to where I said. I'm taking you to fucking spy on Covidious.
But those people might be in trouble.
Where could this plume of smoke come from?
Who knows? Who gives a fuck? That's not our goal.
Okay, then. I thought we were close.
We are close, but not there.
I will turn to Bart and say, Bart, I need a horse. I need a horse, Bart.
I thought you were on a horse.
No, for
We're going
one
to
day.
shit, you're going to need a casket.
This is our third day.
So as we're walking up, we see the plume of smoke. I go ahead and decide, oh, I'm going to cast a horse. I cast it on again. Takes a little bit.
How close do I think this plume of smoke is?
500 yards?
I ride.
So you just take off, huh? Okay.
But we're not going.
Alright, so Flint's just like, oh my fucking god, this fucking guy. He's like, I'm not going there, so I can wait here for him to come back or not, or I can just keep going.
Well, he run out by himself. We ought to follow him.
I say we give him a minute.
You can see if he runs back.
Yeah, he might come back. Let him check it out.
Let me check it out.
When we checked out the rock, it didn't take very long.
And I'm on horseback, sir.
I'm gonna take a
I was
break.
gonna say Flint's gonna find some place to sit, and he'll do so. And
I sit down and hydrate.
okay, so Dee, you're galloping forward along this trail through the woods towards the plume of smoke. And your phantom steed, and the wind is whipping past you, and you're all ready for war.
All caught up in it.
And yes, nothing.
No, I'm not just like charging forward like King Arthur, but I am charging forward. Yes.
Okay.
Like King Arthur.
I'm not expecting to plunge into an army of people.
Well, that's kind of weird that you'd say that, because as you ride, you break out into open ground and see that there are like 200 tents, and you come into some kind of warband encampment, and you just like ride up, and do you keep going, or do you stop, or do you turn around, or what do you do?
When I ride up on the edge of this camp, I'm gonna pull up and be like, holy shit, and turn around and ride back.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. He's
So-
going right back to this.
And behind you hear like somebody yelling, but you can't quite make it out because of the noise of the horse and the rushing of the wind. And not only that, but you don't understand the words. And you enter back into the forest area out of the cleared part, and you're riding I guess, back the way you came?
He hopes.
I hope.
Well, there's only one trail there, so...
That's the trail that came down, so hey.
However, you do need to roll me a d12. Please get a 1. Please get a 1. Here we go, baby.
No, you got a 9, bitch.
Okay. So, you guys that are waiting there, you start to hear the sound of somebody coming down the trail.
I can hear you.
And here he comes now.
It's Guy. And...
It sound like one of me.
There's a huge... Hey!
We're fucked. So much for surprise, right?
Okay.
Hang on!
I think my teleport was out already.
Some things never change, Brad.
Didn't Gaspar do this to me all the time?
Okay. What? He's like, there's a camp.
Did they see you?
Is that good or bad?
Hundreds of them. There's hundreds.
So,
What?
Flint's like, did they see you?
They may have seen me, but they don't know what I was. I turned around so quick.
We should get going.
Yeah, we should keep going.
Keep going
Come
now
on.
at top speed.
So Flint goes the way that he wanted to go,
I follow.
and it's kind of
And I'm right on his heels.
it's kind of at a 90-degree angle away from the smoke in the camp, apparently.
Yeah.
Top speed.
Are you riding top speed again?
I will.
Over top us?
I will know. I will let Flint lead the way.
Okay.
I'll take a flank position towards the direction where the camp was, and then I'll ride up.
I'll watch our back.
I am cavalry. I know what I'm doing.
We're one cavalry, not the whole cavalry.
Well, I'm the cavalry you got right now. So take advantage of it.
Alright, so now you're riding at sort of a more
Oblique.
southeasterly direction.
Yeah, oblique.
And you travel for a while until you come to a hill. This is Oxbogen. She likes me.
No. Couldn't tell.
Bless her heart. No. You gotta love an orange kitty.
She's starting to get old, so you know how things happen.
Yeah.
How old is she?
I don't actually know.
Well, how would you guess?
I would guess 8 to 10.
Well, she got plenty of time left.
My three cats are now 25, 11, and 10. So.
Cats live a good long time if you
Alright. So, Flint raises his hand.
Lulu is probably older than 25, but I just say she's 25 because I said she was 20 for like years. So she's probably 30 years old. I don't know.
Flint raises his hand. And he motions for you all to approach slowly.
Okay.
And as you approach, he points down, and at the bottom of the hill you see what appears to be a group of armed men wearing various forms of armor and arms. There's the most obvious one that sticks out. Well, there's two. There's one that's an obvious dark-skinned elf, not black-skinned, but super tan and dark complexion. And Bart, when you see this, you've never seen that. That's fucking weird. Wearing this armor that is totally foreign looking. It's made of bands of metal that appear to be strapped together to cover the body, with greaves covering parts of the arms and the shins, and like a metal skirt that goes around the bottom of the torso. And then there's another one that's dressed in like almost a short fur robe, carrying a staff and with markings on him, like lots of tattoos. And then there's one other guy dressed in pretty much normal clothes. Looks like a regular dude out there. And
the giant green woman.
Yeah.
How could you know that?
Well, we're going to assume that Jason was just helping the DM try to remember everyone that was in the other party, and that's appreciated.
That's pretty prominent.
But
she's taller than everybody else.
And Bart, you don't know why this woman is so large, other than maybe it's like a giant kin or something.
Yeah.
She's got very harsh features and not at all what you would call feminine. Though there might be, you could say there's an attempt to be made, because there's like a style there that's not mannish, but the species itself is hard to overcome. And you're not sure what species that would be, other than it's very tall and... Am I forgetting anybody?
Broad-shouldered.
Maybe. But that would even be tall for an orc.
Yeah.
Broad-shouldered, big hands and feet.
She's got to be at least a foot taller than anyone else in the party.
Okay.
And there's another elf there that's a lot shorter. And he, there doesn't appear to be anything remarkable about him, except make a perception check for me, Bart.
Perception is D30?
Intelligence plus a D30. Give me your total.
Okay. 29.
Alright. Oh yeah, I think that's it. And then there's horses and gear and things like they've got a campsite set up.
This could be the people, the heroes.
Flint says the ruddy complexioned elf there with the banded mail, that's Covidious.
Would he recognize you, Flint?
Notice he's got the traditional Acariman swords that he carries.
Flint, would he recognize you?
I don't think so.
He will target right in on the dark elf.
Remember, he's
Well, he wants a game plan.
called the Duster for a reason. So
Yeah. He obviously
I
knows
have
about
another question from the other side. What kind of horse does Guy look to be riding?
heavy warhorse.
Is it a phantom horse, or does it look like a real
No.
horse?
It's a real horse.
Okay. Guy will again rear up on the horse, raising his sword in the air.
We should
Well, here we go.
just introduce ourselves to them. Can you keep your cool, Flint, if we try some subterfuge?
Guy will look forward and say, "That's the biggest word I've ever heard you say."
I heard it at the clan meeting.
Flint says, I've waited many years. A few more hours or days won't matter.
So we approach just like our original plan, Guy, to meet these heroes. We've heard of their achievements, right?
Yes.
We want to stop the slavers. They want to stop the slavers. Let's see what's going on.
We should introduce ourselves and then see what happens.
You keep rearing that horse and whinnying, they're going to know we're here already.
They know we're here. And they should know we're here.
Now, are we looking like
This is down here.
down a huge cliff? Or are we looking down a small hillside?
It's a big hill, as if you were, on top of one of the hills around where I live.
So we'd have to back away from the steepness and go back down and around, or...
I mean, you.
I'll lead the way on horseback if you don't mind, Boris.
All right, I'll follow you, buddy.
I'll lead the way.
All right.
Unless Bart wants to go in front of me. If Bart goes in front of me, I won't say a
I'll
word.
follow you. I'll follow.
I go down on horseback.
Myself.
My bastard sword is in hand, in single hand.
All right. So
Why is it in hand? We're approaching
Because
peace.
we don't know. We just got here, man. We're not going to walk in this place. I am what I am. I'll turn on Bart and say, we don't know what we're walking into.
Exactly.
There's a giant green woman. I look at him and say, there's a giant green woman down there.
Yeah, and a man called the Duster.
Yes, I've seen him, and I'm not going to be unarmed in his presence.
all right. So you make your way down the hill, kind of crisscrossing, taking the pressure off the horse from putting such a heavy angle on it. And then as you get down at the bottom, you kind of approach, and you're about 100 feet away from them when they all kind of form up together as if waiting for something to happen. They seem to be a little on edge, as well as maybe they should be. And I think that it's almost 9 o'clock. I think that would be a good place to stop.
Cool.
And
I agree.
unfortunately,
Got to get out the other character sheets now and hone up a little bit.
Oh, I've had Shad standing by the whole time.
all right. So, I guess any parting shots or final words or anything you need clarified before we end?
Clarified.
Okay. What would you like? What do you got?
He is not aggressive, but he is obviously defensive.
Oh, he's aggressive too.
Oh, no.
All right.
He's not aggressive.
He's a man of war. But he's not aggressive. It's a civil war.
No. It's a police action.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Okay, so unless something changes, we'll meet back up a week from tonight.
All right.
Brad, are you thinking that your prior commitments are going to be?
I should be fine. I had to go to Lindsay today.
Something that was unusual?
The next one on my belt. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Next week, Brad, I'm going to be nagging you early to get you in line.
Go to your basement. Put on your headphones. Open Messenger.
All right. Well, that's good.
I just like go to your basement. Go to your basement.
All right. Well, I enjoyed tonight's game. I hope you did too. I hope you.
Me too, buddy. Thanks for hosting.
I hope you are ready
Thank
for
you. This is great. Loved it.
terrible things to happen next week, because you know that's how it always starts good, and then somebody rolls a 1 and then it's on. So there you go. I can DM only so much before the dice say "fuck you." All right.
We got just enough rope
Take care of
to
Yes.
hang ourselves.
Good
Love
night,
y'all.
and
Good night,
thank you.
guys.
Roll them 20s. Thank you for watching, Internet. I can get my computer turned back on over here. We'll shut her down. Come on. All right. End live video. See you next week.